Most fitness advice after 40 tells you to move more, stretch more, do more. But the breakdown happening in your joints, your stabilizers, and your connective tissue has little to do with how much you're moving. It has everything to do with whether your muscles can hold position under load. And that's a completely different problem that requires a completely different solution. I'm going to show you the 4 best holds that target the exact areas of your body that break down first. But before we get into those, you need to quickly understand why this works, because once you see it, you won't look at fitness the same way again. I'll keep it short, don't worry. Somewhere in your 40s, your body starts losing fast-twitch muscle fibers at an accelerating rate. The deep, stabilizing muscles that used to fire automatically, the ones protecting your knees, spine, and shoulders, start going quiet. They don't disappear overnight, but they stop responding the way they used to. Cardio won't wake them back up. Mobility work helps, but it's building on top of a foundation that's already eroding underneath. And here's the thing. People in this situation keep adding more movement to fix a problem that movement alone can't solve. Isometric holds work differently. When you hold a position under tension, your muscles have to generate maximum force without the help of momentum or range of motion. That forces the stabilizers back online. It strengthens the tendons and connective tissue that take decades to build and very little time to lose. The third exercise in this video is one of my favorite ways to do this for the upper body. What that means for you is joints that feel supported, a body that feels controlled, and the kind of strength that holds up when it actually counts. The wall sit is the first hold, and it targets the exact place where the breakdown starts before you're even willing to admit it's happening. Your legs fatigue faster than they used to. You catch yourself favoring one side without knowing why. And the easy answer is to chalk it up to getting older and keep moving. But what's actually happening is your quads have lost the ability to absorb load, and your knees have been quietly picking up the slack for years. Put your back flat against the wall, thighs parallel to the floor, feet shoulder width apart. You're not moving, you're not bouncing, you're just holding. And if you've never done a serious wall sit, 30 seconds will tell you everything you need to know about how much ground you've already lost without realizing it. Your quads are the primary shock absorbers for your entire lower body. When they weaken, your knees take the impact instead. That's where the aching starts, the stiffness in the morning, the feeling that your legs just don't have the same reliability they once did. The wall sit rebuilds that strength in the exact range where your knees need the most support, not at the top of the movement where it's easy, but right in the middle where the demand is highest. Hold for 30 to 45 seconds, rest, and work up to 3 rounds. If your form starts to break down before the time is up, that's your baseline, and that's exactly where you need to build from. Pay attention to whether your weight is drifting forward onto your toes or your lower back is pulling away from the wall, because those are the 2 most common signs that your stabilizers are already compensating. The next hold targets something you can't see working, which is exactly why it gets ignored. Think about every time your lower back has felt tight after a long day, or why your posture starts to collapse when you're tired. That's not just a flexibility problem. The muscles responsible for keeping your spine stable under load have stopped doing their job, and the surrounding muscles are compensating in ways they weren't designed to. The hollow body hold fixes that at the source. Lie on your back and press your lower back flat into the floor with no gap and no arch. From there, raise your shoulders slightly off the ground and extend your legs out low, just above the floor. Your arms reach back overhead, or stay by your sides depending on your current level. The goal is to create full body tension from your shoulders to your heels, while your spine stays completely neutral. What's happening in that position is your deep core stabilizers, the transverse abdominis, and the muscles along your spine are being forced to work together under real tension. Not crunches, not planks with a sagging back, but genuine spinal stability training. And here's where it gets even deeper. That same stability system is what protects you every time you lift something off the floor, twist to reach behind you, or absorb any kind of impact. When it's weak, your body braces by holding its breath and locking up instead of moving with control. The hollow body hold trains you out of that pattern. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds to start. If your lower back lifts off the floor at any point, raise your legs higher until you can maintain that contact. That feedback is the whole point. That stability you'll build in your spine from the hollow body hold is exactly what most training programs skip entirely. They ignore mobility and stability, and that's exactly why so many people keep getting hurt, feeling stiff, and losing strength. I designed the Reset Your Body blueprint to fix these issues. It's a step-by-step guide for people who want results that show up in real life, not just in the gym. If you want to move better, feel stronger, and actually stay in the game long-term, there's a QR code on screen that you can scan with your phone, or check the link in the description below the video. Alright, let's move on to my favorite isometric hold. There's one area of the body that predicts long-term health better than almost any other measure, and it almost never gets trained directly. Your grip strength and your ability to control what's happening at your shoulder joint are two of the clearest indicators of where your body is headed. When both start to decline, everything else follows. The dead hang addresses both at once. Find a pull-up bar or any overhead bar you can grip comfortably and simply hang. Feet off the floor, arms fully extended, shoulders relaxed away from your ears, not shrugged up and not locked out, but long. Let your shoulder blades spread and your spine decompress under your own body weight. You'll feel it immediately in your grip, your forearms, and deep in the shoulder socket in a way that almost nothing else replicates. You may want to start off by using a box or a stool to rest some of your body weight on if you're a beginner. Think about this for a second though. Every time you carry something heavy, reach overhead, or catch yourself from a fall, your shoulders and your grip are the first line of response. When that system is weak, your rotator cuff compensates, your elbows compensate, your neck compensates. People don't usually connect that chain until something actually breaks down, and by then the compensation patterns have been running for years. The dead hang rebuilds the foundation so those compensations stop being necessary. What's also happening during a hang that doesn't get talked about enough is spinal decompression. Gravity compresses your spine all day through every step, every hour of sitting, every workout that loads you from the top down. Hanging reverses that. The vertebrae get space, the discs get a chance to rehydrate, and the muscles along your spine that have been gripping all day finally get to let go. For anyone dealing with chronic tightness in the mid or lower back, this alone is worth making a regular habit. Start with 20 to 30-second holds and work toward a full minute over time. The grip will fatigue before the shoulders do at first. That's normal, and it's exactly what you're training. The next hold brings everything together from the upper body, your chest, your shoulders, your triceps, and the deep stabilizers that connect them to your core. There are two ways to do this depending on where you are right now, because they serve different purposes, and it's worth understanding the difference before you just pick one. The first variation is the top position hold. Get into a standard push-up position with your arms fully extended, hands directly under your shoulders, body in a straight line from your heels to the back of your head. You're not doing a push-up, you're just holding that position and owning it. This version is more accessible, and it's a genuine test of how well your shoulder girdle can stabilize under load. If your hips are sagging, or your shoulders are creeping toward your ears within the first 15 seconds, that's telling you something important about where your stability is breaking down. A lot of people assume they have strong shoulders because they can press weight overhead, but this hold will show you whether that strength actually transfers to stability, and for many people it doesn't. The second variation is the bottom position hold. Lower yourself down to the bottom of a push-up with your chest just above the floor and your elbows at roughly a 45-degree angle from your body, and hold there. This one is significantly harder, and it's also significantly more valuable for shoulder health. That bottom position is where the rotator cuff is under the most demand, where most shoulder injuries originate, and where almost no one ever deliberately trains. The muscles and tendons that have to work to keep you stable in that position are exactly the ones that deteriorate when you only train through the easy ranges. Holding there builds the joint integrity that keeps your shoulders functioning the way they're supposed to for years longer than they otherwise would. Start with the top position if you're new to this. Work up to 30 to 45-second holds before progressing to the bottom position. And when you get to the bottom hold, even 10 to 15 seconds done well is worth more than a minute done with poor form. Add these into your routine 2 to 3 times a week and give it 30 days. And if you want the full program built around this kind of training, the link is in the description.